Hey everybody, welcome to Comics with Bueller. It's 5:30 on the dot and it's Friday night and we're here to talk about some comics and some other things, some Comic-Cons. It's a lot of fun. Here's the thing, I'm by myself tonight. I got a lot of stuff to cover, so I don't have a guest, so I'm sorry about that, but I might have a guest next week or I might not. But anyway, this should be a lot of fun tonight. And hopefully you guys can hear me and see me, everything okay. Let me look in the chat there. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear and see everything and everything sounds right. So that's very important, you know, when you're doing a live stream. So let me take a look. We've already got a bunch of people in the chat, so that's awesome. Let's see. The first one was Caleb Comics. Hello, Caleb. How you doing? Denzel, hello. High on Life. I got the pronunciation of that right because he said how it's supposed to sound. High on Life. Hello. Needmo Comics. What's up? Stacy's weekly comic book picks. Hello. Wingnut. What's up, buddy? Bruce, how are you? I've already said hello to a bunch of these people in here. We got my buddy Sam from Sam's Tangled Web. Henry, my daughter is in here. Paige Noakes, and we're going to be talking about my daughter here in a little bit. Should be interesting. Cody, hello. Let's see. Knights of the Old is in here. JLS Comics, hello. Steve and Spock, that's one person. Stephen, hello, how are you? He gave me a thumbs up, so I guess everything sounded okay. DK Comics and Cosplay, Kate Mayer 1. Stefan Genter, is that? Let's see, Gentner. I'm sorry. Economics and Comics, Bill. We'll get to him in a little bit because Bill's got something special going on this weekend that I want to tell you guys about. And he does a really good job. He's doing an auction. I'll give you some more details here in a little bit. Let's Martin C. 90 MF Comics. That's my buddy Chad Kachun. Hello. I think I said that right because I've heard other people say it now. So I think I got the name right. Let's see. Steven Spock again. Ryan, Big Lion Cat 646. Nerdvana Comics 1. Red Matos. I probably get his name wrong too. Darren, Comic Noob, Nerdy Couch, one of my favorite newer comic book YouTubers. Awesome guy, funny guy. That's the thing I like about him. He's got a great sense of humor, and I like watching his videos. It puts a smile on my face. And that first video I watched, honestly, I think I watched it probably like 20 times. It was only like 2-minute video, so I watched it multiple times. Every time I watch it, I got a kick out of it. So Sin Potter, Instagram. What's up, Sin Potter? He's a very talented artist, and he just gave a super chat. Keep up all the great work. Thank you, Sin Potter. Appreciate that. Let's see. Comic G-Man. I already said that guy. He's a good guy. Mastodon Comics and Collecting. That's Don. How you doing, Don? D's Room. How you doing, buddy? D's Room. He's got a good sense of humor as well. I watch his channel, and he's got this hat with these little horns on it and stuff. So D's Room. Thank you so much, and thank you again. He sent an act of kindness last month, or maybe a little before that. But thank you so much. I appreciate that, D's Comics. Ryan Atkins, hello. How are you? I think Ryan's an artist, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm pretty sure I got that right. And I've seen some of his work, and it's pretty good. If I'm not mistaken, Ryan, I might be wrong, but I think you are. So let's see. Caleb is back in here. Flaming Sheila. And okay, so we got 62 people in here right now. So I will just tell you right now, since Flaming Sheila is right there. Yes, last week we were doing a giveaway for Max Pro Supplies because we had them as our guest last week, and that was awesome. Thank you so much for everyone who turned out for that. Those guys had a great time, and I think you guys enjoyed that. I really enjoyed having them, and they're going to be back. They will be back on the show, but we were doing a giveaway for that one. And Flaming Sheila, or Sheila, she changes her name all the time. So, but she won the giveaway. So I actually have the box sitting over there on the couch, and there's a special Bueller box I made just for you. And then I made, then you're getting some of the Max Pro supplies as well. So congratulations, Flaming Sheila. That's your name right now. It might be different next week, but you are the winner, and I will get that sent out to you. And I actually already have your address because luckily my buddy Sam, she already had her address, and Sam already gave it to me. So Thank you, Sam, and congratulations, Sheila. You won some comics and you won some bags and boards. Okay, so I got a bunch of stuff I want to get into. And hey, there's Al Red Sox fan. He's in here. Another great channel. I like that guy. Fist of Doom 84. This is a bunch of people. We got 74 people watching already. Zach is in here. I think I probably already said Zach. Man, I probably missed some people. Comic Books NYC. Hello. Great to have you in here. Robert Johnson. That's awesome. Keep in you cool Smith. He's in here, or her. She's in here. Fire Davis. Hello, Fire Davis. Fire Davis's birthday is this month. Congratulations. I think Fire Davis is going to be 18 years old. That's pretty cool, man. Stay out of trouble. Dre Van Doom, hello. And Ryan Atkins, I think he said in there that yes, he is an artist. So I pretty, like I said, I wasn't 100% sure, but I was pretty sure. But yeah. So yeah, I am. Thank you for that. Yeah. See, I knew he was an artist. I write stuff down because I forget stuff a lot, and I try to write some things down so I remember. And every now and then I just, I write it down, I forget it anyway. But looks like there was another super chat in here. Man, you guys are starting it off early tonight. Perry Comics. Hey, what's up, Bueller? And hey, Comic Fam. What's going on, Perry Comics? Nice to have you in here. It's just me tonight, and I got a lot of stuff to cover. And, I will just tell you right now, I'm a pretty happy guy most of the time, and pretty much all the time. But there's a couple things that happened this week that are kind of negative, and and they're not about me, but it's related to me. So I want to get into that a little bit later, and it hurts a little bit, but we're going to get into that just a little bit later. We got another super chat from Dre Van Doom, $2. Thank you so much. Man, you guys are just loading up. You guys must know I'm going on that trip because that trip is going to cost me a lot of money. I was just figuring out today if I got to sell me a bunch of Bueller boxes to be able to make this trip to go see my daughter. Let's see. Bob World, he's in here. Another great guy, Bob World. You guys have all seen his work because you guys see my logo, and he's the guy that redid my logo. He took my design, he cleaned it all up. He actually sent me another version last night, and he's done some really nice things for me. So Bob World, he's in here, very good guy, good friend. I consider him a very good friend. Okay, let's go ahead and get into something else real quick. Let's go ahead and get into my picks of the week real fast. I'll show you what I pulled. And let me know what you guys think of these books, because, New Comic Book Day was just a couple days ago, and I actually was able to make it to my comic shop. They were delayed a day, so they didn't get everything. So I went to a couple different shops. But I want to show this one right here. And this is that wonderful Wonder Woman. This is the Art Germ, number 65. So just a great cover. I've never read this book, but the cover is pretty cool. And this was on my top 10 list. And then I picked up the Batgirls 32, another one that was on my top 10 list. So that's kind of cool. Nice looking cover. Happy about those. And one of my favorite series, and I love this one. This is Spawn, number 294. And great cover. They had 3 covers for this, if you guys didn't see them. All 3 of the covers were very good. Any one of them, you couldn't go wrong. But this series is still a $2.99 price point, and it's like the only book that's left that's $2.90, because a bunch of those DC books that were $2.99 just got canceled. So this is like the only book that's left that's $2.99, except for there's some independent books that are like $1.50 or something like that. So Spawn, number 294, awesome cover, awesome book. Here's one of my favorites right here. And my buddy, Al Red Sox fan, he just gave a $20 super chat. Enjoy your trip and have a great time with your daughter, my friend. I love that guy. Here's the thing about Al. I've been on his channel. I met him, and I was a fan of his channel. And I got the chance to meet him and talk to him, and then he invited me on his channel. And I've been on a couple times, maybe more than 2. And every time I'm on his channel, it's so much fun. Because, we talk about other stuff other than comics. And I love comics, but every now and then I like to talk about other stuff. and that gives me an opportunity to branch out. We had a great conversation about zombie apocalypse type thing, and or our favorite sports moments and stuff like that. So Al, Red Sox fan, thank you so much. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, please go ahead and do so, because it's not comic books, but it's like a sports channel, like a retro sports broadcast type thing, and he does commentary and he does like the games and just a bunch of stuff. It's really hard to kind of pigeonhole it into one thing, but it's a great channel. Do me a favor, check him out. All right, look at this one. So this is great, and this is actually one of my favorite books, the actual one. So this is the Avengers. This is the annual. I think it's annual number 10 or 11. I'm not sure, but this was the one that has the first appearance of Rogue, which is my actually one of my favorite female characters that's in the Avengers. And so this is only $1. True believers, pick this up. And the great thing about this is the quality of this book is so much better than the actual annual itself. And if you want to read the story and find out some information, obviously the first Rogue and everything, pick up this book. It's only $1. It's awesome. And let's see, there's another gentleman by Scott Farr. I don't have a channel, but I have a great trip, my friend. Scott, he's another good guy. He just gave a super chat. You know, there's so many really cool people in here, and there's so many people in here that I've gotten the opportunity to talk with, not only just like in chats, but I try to talk to as many people as I can on Instagram and private message and messages on Facebook. I'm not very good on Facebook, I'll tell you right now. I've looked on Facebook messages, and they've been sitting there for like a month, and I had no idea they were there. And actually, until my daughter showed me how to use Instagram, I had a bunch of messages in there as well, and I didn't know what was going on. So I really enjoy talking to people on Instagram on the direct message. I think it's instant message or direct message, and it's just fun because it's in real time, and I don't get to everybody, and I try to go down the list and talk with everybody. And usually when I get a hold of someone, I see the little light on, and they sent me a message, and I try to talk to them right back because it's in real time. I like that. So Scott Farr, thank you so much, my friend. You're awesome. I think I saw my sister in here. Holly Wymore, that's my sister. This is a family affair. That's my older sister. And just so you guys know, I'm the youngest out of like 11 total kids from my parents' multiple marriages. So out of 11 kids, I'm the youngest. And so that's my older sister, and they're all older brothers and sisters. So hello, Holly. Love you. Miss you. I'm glad you're back. She was away. She was in Colombia or something. She's back now for a little while. She'll probably go back pretty soon. She doesn't stick around long. Pro186, hello. Samantha Branch, hello. Metarog, my buddy Metarog, he's in here. That's awesome. We got 115 people watching. That's pretty cool. I don't even have a guest, and people are watching. Okay, let's get back to some of my polls. Fantastic Four, number 4, or jeez, come on. Fantastic Four, number 7. Just a really cool cover. Like that one. Amazing Spider-Man, number 16. He's got Kraven on there, one of my favorite characters. So I like that one. We got some DC books. Got the Heroes in Crisis, number 6. I've heard some mixed reviews about this number 6. I didn't read number 5, I don't think either. So I'm curious to see where the story is going. It might have faded off a little bit. I'm trying to get the glare off. There we go. So number 6, very cool. And then another last book I got was The Flash, another one of my favorite DC characters, number 65. And this was all in my poll list this week. And I missed out on every independent book that I was wanting to get. They were all gone. And like when I go and I look at my top 10 list, I'm only able to get half of the books on my top 10 list that I want. Then there's something wrong. So I got to do a little bit more digging and find some more things. Let's take a sip of coffee. I did find a couple of these, and these are really nice. And I wanted to show these real fast if you guys don't mind. This is the Amazing Spider-Man number 7. This is the Battle Lines variant, and I found this today. And just a great looking cover. I hope you guys like that. And then I found this one today as well. And this is the Catwoman number 3, kind of a saucy looking cover as well. And so, yeah, I found both of these. And the really cool thing about both of these ones is I found these in the 50-cent bins. So these are going out in the Bueller boxes in the next round. So, and I've got a bunch of other stuff as well. So these are really cool variants that are going out. And I got a nice little selection of variants that will go out in the next Bueller box round next week. So anyway, I thought those were cool. And I paid 50 cents for these a piece. That's pretty awesome. Put those right there. All right. We got another super chat from Double G Reggie Simmons. Double G Reggie Simmons. He says, "What's up, Bueller? How's it going, Reggie? Double Reggie or Double G Reggie Simmons. What's up, man?" Let's see. There's a bunch of other people. Brett Hess Art is in here as well. Don't forget to go check out Brett Hess Art on his Instagram. It's real easy. Just go type in Art of Brett Hess or something like that. Brett Hess Art or Art of Brett Hess. Check out his stuff on Instagram. There's a link to his website as well for all his artwork. And you guys there's one of the things right there. You've seen it behind me. He sent me a bunch of them, and they're pretty cool. One of my favorite artists right there. He's in my chat. So that's awesome. All right. Prowler 671. How are you? Michael E. Hello. Comic Tom 101. What's going on, Comic Tom 101? Comic Tom. So I think we kind of worked out a schedule to where his pre-show will come on right after this show, if I'm not mistaken. Tom, are you doing that tonight? Let the people know in the chat, because the pre-show for the weekly top 10 books, the hot books or the CBSI hot books, the pre-show should be on right after this one, and then he'll release the list shortly after there, if I'm not mistaken. Tom, let the people know. Or maybe not. I don't know. Okay. Let me go ahead and get into some other stuff. I met someone today. I met a gentleman by the name of Andy, and he is I met him in a comic shop today, and he's a fellow, he watches the show. He watches me. He watches Tom. He watches a bunch of other people, and he recognized me at a comic shop today, and he said, Bueller, and he said, "Hey, you're Bueller," and we talked for, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. And just a really nice guy. And so I just want to say, hey, Andy, it was nice meeting you today. Look forward to seeing you again. I told him we could go have coffee sometime, and the coffee's always on me. At least the first time it's on me. The rest of the time it's on you. So that was pretty cool. And also congratulations to Chino Comics and More. They opened up their comic book store this week. Brand new comic book shop owners, him and Manny, fantastic. They sent me a bunch of pictures. Store looks awesome. They were on the show a couple weeks ago, so I just want to say congratulations to Chino Comics and More and Manny, and they're comic shop owners now, so that's awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to some topics really quick, and I got a lot of things to cover. Man, I feel like I've been going already. But let's go ahead and get into what the title says. And the title of this video is What is Happening to Comic-Cons. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up, what is happening to Comic-Cons, and excuse me and or Tom and I kind of talked about it on the Tuesday show that we do on Comic Tom 101 on his channel Tuesdays. And we kind of hit the topic of Comic-Cons. And the reason why that topic came up is because I went to a Comic-Con last weekend, and I was invited there to cover the Comic-Con for the people that run the Comic-Con. So I do want to say thank you to them for that. Thank you, Jerry. And it was Wizard World Comic-Con. And a few weeks ago, Tom went to a Comic-Con down in California. And we both had extremely different experiences at these Comic-Cons. Let me first kind of touch bases on Tom's one that he went to. So the Comic-Con that Tom went to down in California was strictly comic books. There's no cosplay involved. There's it's multiple rooms of dealers, and it's just comics as far as you can see. And the admission price is quite a bit less to get into this con because it doesn't have any of the bells and whistles that some of these cons have now. And I just want to say that I wish that was the con that I went to, because that was not the experience I had. I went to the Comic-Con, the Wizard World Portland Comic-Con. And if you guys aren't familiar with Wizard World, they are company that tours around the United States and usually puts on a different Comic-Con every single month in a different state every year. And they've been doing it for a long time. I think this is the 7th year that they've been to Portland, and I covered it for them last year as well. I had a similar experience, and then I've been to one a few years before that, and that was even before I got into collecting. So I was looking at it through kind of wide open eyes and not really knowing what was going on. But let me talk about this one right here, the Wizard World Portland. And let me tell you the pros of this con. And I wrote them down. So the pros of this con, the things I liked about it. The Hero Initiative had a booth set up there. Fantastic. Love the Hero Initiative. I actually have a local contact with them, and the Hero Initiative is going to be working with me in the future. And I'm probably going to have that representative on the show. We talked about it. You know, they've got a lot of people lined up that are connected with them. So the Hero Initiative being there at this con gets a thumbs up. The second thumbs up about this one was their Source Point Press was there, and they were talking about their books and stuff like that. They had a booth set up. So I really enjoyed talking with a couple of the creators there. That was a lot of fun. The third pro about this con was Randy Emberlin. He was there as well. And Randy Emberlin, if you can see this artwork right here, he is like he's an artist, and then he also does like the inking and stuff like that and all that stuff. Just a great guy. He's been in the industry for a very long time. And, you know, I actually got to meet him earlier last year, and he was at the con. So that was great. I was really happy to see him. And he's local. He's actually just right, you know, probably less than 10 miles away from my house. So Randy Emberlin, if you guys are familiar with him, he actually would like to be on the show as well. So I will have him as a guest in the future. I don't know when for sure. There's something really cool that he does. Him and his wife do a summer camp for kids who are trying to get into art and stuff like that, you know, and I'd like to talk to him about that, you know, maybe closer to the summertime. But just a great guy, really nice, and I've got to talk to him a few different times now. So those were the pros. That was it. That was it. Now, if you kind of notice something, there was something missing from the pros, and the pros should have been comic books. There was less comics there that are sitting right next to me right here. And I'm not exaggerating. I have 3 levels with probably like 30 short boxes sitting right next to me, and I would probably have double the amount of comic books that this convention had. No joke. And it was one booth that had comics, and I went to the booth, I checked it out, and the prices were not great prices. They were way overpriced. There was no 50-cent books. I don't like that. There was no dollar books either. And they had a lot of books that should have been like $4 or $5 that they were selling for 20 or 25 bucks. Not a very good experience. Did not like that. Not only did they not have comics, none of the local shops set up booths there at all. We have 20 different comic book shops in the area, and none of them set up a booth there at the Comic-Con, so we didn't have that. We were very limited on creators. As you can see, Randy Emberlin was really the only guy that was there that's a true creator that people probably recognize. There was a list of other people that were there, and no disrespect to them, but I didn't know the names very well, and I actually took the list to a local comic shop owner who's very knowledgeable. I said, can you please look at these people and tell me what they've worked on? And he had a very hard time figuring out what they've done type thing. So I don't know exactly. And I don't want to make that sound bad, because I'm sure these people are great and do some really talented stuff. But as far as actual comic book creators that are credited on a series, I think that's where they're lacking. I was really disappointed because it's a Comic-Con and I was invited there to cover the event. Now, they had celebrities. They had, you know, they had the guy, the Aquaman guy, the Jason Momoa. You know, you got to have that guy. And then they had like the cast from the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And those are great, that you have stuff like that. They're right next to where you can buy car insurance. So if you want to buy car insurance at the booth and get your autograph by Jason Momoa, they're right next to each other at this con, and that works out just fantastic. But here's the thing about the celebrities at these cons. It's good to see them. Obviously, they don't want you to take pictures, and they're very kind of off limits, as far as if you don't pay the money, you don't get to talk to them type thing. And we all know that you pay the money, it's like $80 to get an autograph or something like that. Then you get to talk to them and stuff. And I get it, that's the thing. But it's, I go to a Comic-Con and I don't want that experience. I want to go there. And if it's called a Comic-Con, have some freaking comics at the con, and make it worth my while to go. I was there to cover the event, to film the event, to, cover the panels and all that stuff. And I literally sat there for the first hour and I said, what is this? This is ridiculous. It was a waste of my time, because it's not all you guys in here that are watching. There's 140 people watching, and probably a lot of you have gone to cons. And if you've had similar experiences to I have, please let me know in the chat. I appreciate it. Was Sarah Michelle Gellar there? No, she wasn't there. It was the supporting characters that were the ones for the Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And there was the girl that plays Supergirl on the CW show. She was there as well. So those are great. And there was some cosplay as well. And I've said this before. I like cosplay, especially the ladies cosplay. It's pretty cool. But, it's Comic-Con. And but here's the thing I noticed. And this wasn't like this last year. And I don't know. I know there's a lawsuit or something or a trademark that San Diego is trying to do. And but no longer does Wizard World state it being a Comic-Con. It just says Wizard World. And that wasn't the case last year. I remember because I downloaded some of the images and stuff to use for the stuff I covered last year, and it had the word Comic-Con in it. It no longer says Comic-Con. So it's called Wizard World. Are they just doing away with the actual Comic-Con itself and just doing this Wizard World pop culture fest? I think that's more the right term for it right now. Is that something you see? I mean, I'd be curious because, like I said, Wizard World kind of goes all over the United States. And, Wizard World has a history of Wizard Magazine, which we're all familiar with, back in the 90s and stuff, and the comics and everything. That the ownership has changed hands from the magazine and stuff like that, but it initially started from that. And I believe the owner now runs Ace Comic-Con, which is another, I think that's pretty similar to what Wizard World is. But if you've went to a Wizard World, I'm curious to know your response. Are you seeing the same thing? Is it just me here in Portland, or is it in New Orleans? Because I know they do one there. I know they do one in Boise. If you're been to Wizard World, are you seeing the same thing? Or are you seeing the same thing when you're going to cons, just regular cons that aren't in Wizard World? Do you see the same thing? The disappearance of actual comics themselves, and the reemergence of cosplay and insurance, car insurance, or the Hard Mike's Lemonade booth where you can ride a glitter dolphin for $1, something like that. Because literally that was there. The MC was Kato Kalin, which is if you don't know who Kato, I think it's Kato Kalin. This is the guy that was the dude living in O.J. Simpson's guest house when everything went down in O.J. Simpson's house. So Kato Kalin is the MC for this Comic-Con. Seemed like a nice guy. Okay, I don't want to say anything bad, but yeah, he's OJ's friend. Exactly. Anyway, I've met him a couple times now, and he shook my hand and everything, and he was nice. But it's just funny that Kato is the MC for Wizard World Comic-Con. Congratulations. That's pretty cool. And I fully expect to not get invited back to Wizard World anytime soon. And if that's the case, I'm okay with it. And I got some more things to talk about Wizard World as well that were very disappointing. So one thing that cons are really good for, you get the opportunity to volunteer at Comic Cons. And you can volunteer and you can experience Comic-Con and you can stuff some bags or maybe meet some celebrities or stuff like that. Just help out. All the Comic-Cons I know, they do this. Wizard World, and I can't be 100% on this, but I'm talking because I was friends with a couple of volunteers and they let me know this. Wizard World put out the call for volunteers and a bunch of people signed up for the Wizard World. They sent out an email like a couple days before the Wizard World actually started. And from what I understand, the email said, we don't want you, we don't need you for volunteers, or we don't want you to volunteer. We're going to use our own people from now on. And they told all these people that they've already have made plans to come and volunteer that they don't want them. And they said, here's a day pass. You can come on a day of your choosing and just come and do the, experience the con. I thought that was really weird. I've never heard of that before. People canceling volunteers. These are volunteers that are taking time out of their day to come and support the con. So I was a little taken aback by that. My computer on over here is acting weird. Hold on one second. All right, there we go. Let's see. Rob Worth says, personally, I don't want to pay $35 a day for a comicless PopCon. Exactly. That's exactly the experience. Now, full disclosure, I didn't pay anything for this con. Like I said, I was invited to cover the con for them. And they've actually sent me an email asking me for the footage of the con. Well, I'm sorry to say, I don't have any footage because I went to a Comic-Con and a Comic-Con wasn't there. So I didn't record any footage. And so they're not getting nothing. You can use my stuff from last year. I sent you guys plenty of footage from last year. Oh my God, I'm burning this bridge. So the negatives about the con, obviously there was no talent. There was no comic book creator, credited comic book creator talent at this con besides the gentleman I already mentioned. I don't know how that happens. I went to a small con last year that was just like in a, little hotel type thing. And they got freaking Jim Shooter, the editor-in-chief of Marvel. And you guys probably always saw it sitting there and he's a guest, and I'm like, well, that's pretty cool, but this one very lacking as far as creators from comics. There's another con that's coming our way this summer, the Washington State Summer Con. They got Jim Steranko, Chris Claremont, Jim Lee, Jerry Conway. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, this list is just stacked. And this is only the third year that they've been doing this con. And as far as actual creators and stuff, it's the best list I've seen in a long time. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's a negative. They don't have any creators. And I've heard from a lot of people that this is going on at cons all over the United States and outside as well, which is it's really concerning because I don't want the Comic-Cons to turn into a pop culture type thing. And I noticed that the attendance was very low. The attendance was not there because there's no need to go there for any comics. And there's obviously a market. Like I said, lack of creators, lack of comics themselves, no comics really. And it wasn't really a fun environment with that stuff lacking. They did have the cosplay. They did have the celebrities, which were pretty much exactly the same celebrities that were there last year. So I'm assuming that they're probably just on contract. But when you look at the price tag to get an autograph or a picture, and it's like $100, $125, and you already paid $60 or $70 just to walk in the front door, is it really worth it? It's not. It's not. There has to be a healthy medium for this to exist. We are lucky in the Pacific Northwest because this is not the only con that we get. We get one called Rose City Comic Con, and I covered that one. And you guys are probably aware of the Rose City Comic Con because I put a lot of footage out on that one. And that was a great example of a con that balances every scenario the right way. You have to have and I believe this, you have to have a good selection of, one, comics, two, comic book creators, and the pop culture, the celebrities, and all that stuff. This Rose City Comic Con, and for the same part, Emerald City Comic Con, another con here in the Pacific Northwest, is able to balance that out very well. I've really enjoyed covering those. I'm going to miss Emerald City Comic Con this year, which is unfortunate, but I got a great excuse and I wouldn't pick any other option. But I will be at Rose City Comic Con. They will have a great big lineup of creators, a ton of booths because they are local, and all the local shops will have a booth there, and those are fantastic. And then they always have a nice little selection of celebrities, and it seems like the celebrities are much more approachable at this con. Now, like I said, this is a Pacific Northwest con. It's run once a year. They don't travel or nothing like that, so it's a one-time shot. And same thing with Emerald City. It's privately owned and stuff like that. So I think that that's where it needs to be. When I see cons like Wizard World or cons like Ace Comic Con that put on these cons at different places all over the United States, I think we kind of lose touch with the true Comic-Con experience. And it's evident because that's the way they're all going as far as the big corporation type cons. Even, San Diego Comic-Con, which I'd love to go to someday. It's a Hollywood movie fest. Is pretty much what it is. It looks really cool, and there's a lot of glitz and glamour, and that's great. But the comic actual section is dwindling, and the price to get into that, you probably not going to make up when you're trying to buy comics. So anyway, that is my thing on the con. I do see that there being a good medium, and I like the little like swap meets that I go to. There's a swap meet that I go to every 3 months. It's called the Frankenstein. It's all comics. It's a $1 to get in, and they got tons of books, and they're all cheap books, and everyone there is a vendor, and they're all selling. They're all willing to make deals. There's a little bar in there, and you can get something to drink, and you can get a pizza and stuff, and to get the comics all greasy and everything. So if you want to. So anyway, those are a lot of fun. I enjoy that. Let me look at the chat because there's a lot of people in here. And I'm just rambling. We got Economics Comics. You got a $5 super chat. One of the biggest issues is that now that cons have turned pop without comics, cosplayers go cosplay and buy nothing, which also hurts cons even more. I like to cosplay. I really do. It's pretty good. Anyway, I like cosplay, and like I said, I think there's a good medium for cosplayers. I've noticed that there are cosplayers that don't even buy tickets. They just go and they'll hang out in the lobby outside of the actual convention itself, and I find that very interesting. It's great, and they usually the cosplayers that do that, they have some pretty impressive cosplay, but they'll just hang out in the lobby and they don't even bother getting a ticket to actually go into the booth, and obviously that's probably why. Because they're not really into comics, if you're going to a Comic-Con, I would think you'd want to buy comics type thing. But if you're not even getting a ticket and you're hanging out in the lobby and you're a cosplayer, your knowledge of books is probably somewhat limited. Let's see here. We still got like 136 people watching, and I ain't saying much. Al Red Sox fan says 50 likes. Great job. Bueller backers. Oh, that's Bueller backers. Let's see, 51, 52. It looks like I'm getting some likes. If you guys want to like the video, you can. I always forget. Don't forget to like, subscribe. There you go. There's my plug for likes. So anyway, that's my rant, I guess you'd say, about Wizard World Comic Con, which I just went to this last weekend. And it was not, like I said, a very good experience. I was literally there for about an hour and a half. And I sat there and I looked at my clock. And I said, well, the panel starts in 2 hours that we're supposed to cover. And I said to my son, I go, what the hell are we going to do for 2 hours? And he looked at me, he was like, I don't know. So I said, you know what? Right up the street, literally 10 miles away, Brian Michael Bendis and David Walker and a handful of other creators are doing a signing at a comic shop. They would rather be at this local comic shop than to go to this Comic-Con. And that should tell you something right there about this Wizard World Comic-Con. So I said, why don't we run up to the comic shop? It's called I Like Comics. And so we went up there and we got in line, or I got in line. My son went and did some other stuff. And I got to talk to David Walker, and I got to talk to Brian Michael Bendis again. And Brian Michael Bendis gave me his email, and he said he's free this month, for an interview or a sit down. I don't know if he's thinking about doing a live or a sit down type thing. I said it's up to him. So I'm going to be sending him an email here and seeing if I can't get something set up. Obviously, you guys should probably know Brian Michael Bendis. He's writing pretty much every book for DC right now. And then also David Walker, who is doing Naomi. He's working on that book right now with Brian Michael Bendis as well. He was there, and I've actually met David a few different times, and I talked to him about being on the show, and it sounds like he wouldn't mind being on the show as well. So, I mean, that's pretty cool, because it's like David Walker, Brian Michael Bendis, Randy Emberlin, all three of those gentlemen have talked about wanting to be on the show or some form, and so hopefully this year we're going to make that happen. But anyway, went up to that comic shop, met all these gentlemen. They were fantastic. Met a bunch of people online, other comic book, enthusiasts. I mean, the line to the shop was bigger than the line by far to get into the Wizard World Comic-Con. Okay. So it pays off having creators come to your Comic-Con Wizard World. I don't know if you're watching, but do me a favor and, have some more creators, because we here at the comic community want to go to a Comic-Con that has 1, comic books, and 2, comic book creators. So I'm talking directly to Wizard World right now. Something to think about, let's be honest. There's another super chat, DK Comics and Cosplay. Some cosplayers buy lots of things at cons, including comics and tickets that keep cons going. Sometimes they come on days when they are out of cosplay to enjoy the vendors and other events. You know what? That's a good point, and I might not have thought about that through, because you see the cosplay people and you just think cosplay. That you're probably right, because they probably go on another day not dressed up and they get in there. So I'm glad you pointed that out, because that's a really good point. And like I said, I'm a cosplay fan, and especially the ladies. And I've done some videos on cosplay, and I was really hoping to do some more videos on cosplay at the Wizard World, but it just wasn't in the cards. I was just not in the mood to do it, because I was very disappointed. And maybe at Rose City Comic Con, I'd like to do some, because there's a bunch of cosplayers that I follow on Instagram, and I'd love to have a cosplayer, on the show. And I've interviewed some cosplayers, and they're really cool. So I think that's an area. I myself probably wouldn't look too good in a cosplay outfit, but some people do. Let's be honest. Anyway, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Let's see. We still got just a ton of people. We got 130 people watching. Okay, let me get to some other stuff now that I kind of told Wizard World straight to the camera what I thought. Sorry, no invite next year. Okay, I got my list of stuff here. Let's go through it. Okay, so this is really cool. So I posted some stuff on Instagram today, and they're the boxes in action. And I got them behind me, and I wanted to show you. And there's a reason why I'm showing you these boxes. These are those art boxes, and they're by the company called Boxes in Action. And this is the Spawn one. And I've actually had this for a very long time. Well, like maybe a year and a half or two. And then I have another one, and I got this around the same time. This is the Hulk, the Smash. It says Smash on the top of the lid. So there's this one right here. It's very cool. And we'll set those right there. Hopefully they don't fall. But I wanted to bring those up because I had a great conversation last night with the owner of the company, Chris from Boxes in Action. And I'm a big fan. I like him. I told him, one of my favorite ones that they do, there's one of these Wolverine claws that kind of cut the box. And I think that's kind of cool. And he's actually going to be sending me a bunch of boxes to kind of show on the show. So I'm excited about that. And the really good news is I hope to maybe work with this gentleman that I talked to, and I talked to him about coming on the show as well, because I think these are really cool. And he said he's all for it. I'm a little busy this month because of my trip that I'm going to be going on. And but I'm looking forward to having that on there. And the nice thing is the Max Pro Supplies, my sponsor, if you go to their website, they have these boxes. They are a distributor for the boxes in action, and they have a bunch of these boxes on their website, and you can go there and check them out. And I actually put in the link. The link is down below for the boxes in action, and also the Max Pro Supplies. It's in the description down below, and you can click on that link, and you can go to the Boxes in Action's website, and they have a gallery of all the boxes. And I just spent like an hour looking at all the pictures, and they're really cool, because they got pictures with like the Punisher box with the guy that plays the Punisher on the TV show and stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. Then they have like the Spawn box. It's autographed by Todd McFarlane. McFarlane's holding the box. I thought that was pretty cool as well. But do me a favor, go check out their boxes. You probably already have them, because the ones I post on Instagram, there was a lot of feedback. Oh yeah, I love those boxes. I really like them. And actually, the owner of the company was actually responding to comments in my feed on Instagram. So it's at Comics with Bueller on those pictures. So if you asked a question, I noticed that he responded to a few different comments, which is pretty cool. Okay, so that's boxes in action. Let me go ahead and get to Max Pro Supplies. And did you guys have fun last week? I thought that was really cool. Having Brian on as a guest. He's going to come back. Really great guy. I think you guys can tell why I kind of partnered up with these guys. They're very personable, and very friendly. And obviously they're located in the Pacific Northwest. But if you didn't watch last week's live stream, you should, because it was a lot of fun, a lot of information. And we gave some stuff away. Obviously, I see Flaming Sheila right there. She was the winner of the giveaway and stuff. But I just want to say thank you to Brian for joining me. And what was really cool was Steve, the president of the company. He was actually in the chat answering people's questions. And so were me and Steve. So not only did you have me and Steve going back and forth on the live stream, but then you also had, or me and Brian on the live stream. You then had Steve active in the chat answering people's questions. And I thought that was really cool. And somebody left the comment, and I don't want to say nothing bad, but somebody left a comment, and they said that I've never seen any BCW reps in somebody's chat answering questions. Now, I don't know if that's true, but I just got a kick out of that comment. And, I like BCW. I'm not saying anything bad about them. I've used their stuff in the past. But right now, obviously, why am I not going to be using Max Pro Supplies? Because, that's my pick of choice right now. So there you go. I thought that was pretty funny. But Max Pro Supplies, thank you so much for coming on. That was a lot of fun. And like I said, the link is down below. You can click on their website, whatever you order on Max Pro Supplies. And a lot of people have ordered a lot of stuff. And I want to say thank you to everybody who's ordered stuff and used the code Bueller, and you save 10% on your purchase. I just think it's great. They've really enjoyed it. It's worked out good for them. It's worked out good for me, because I can you guys get a discount. You guys can get some supplies that we all use. That's the thing. I wanted to have a sponsor with something that we all use. Everybody uses comic book supplies. Everyone, for the most part, uses bags and boards. Okay. And that's what they provide. I've talked to reps for grading companies, and not everybody gets stuff graded. So I kind of, went the other direction on that. So it's just not, I don't get stuff graded. So I think it would be kind of weird for me to sit there and try to tell you guys to go get your stuff graded, and here I don't even get anything graded. So that doesn't quite work out for me. So anyway, I saw there was a super chat in here. D Sting Lee. Hey Bueller, new subscriber. How does the comics sale work? Comics sale. I don't. Are you talking about the Bueller box? If you're talking about, that's really the only thing I sell is the Bueller box, and I sell those on my eBay, and they sell out very fast. And it's my eBay is the Bueller's Bargains, and I try to put out books as much as I can, but really it's almost impossible for me to keep up with all the books to get them out. So I just had 40 boxes this morning go out, and they sold out. And I had 15 boxes last night of the Independents, and those sold out. So maybe next week I should have a bigger lot, and I need to have a bigger lot because, like I said, I'm going on that trip to see my daughter, and money's for the trip. So there you go. So I'll try to have a bigger lot next week, and so that way you guys can get it. I don't know if that's what your question was. If it was, great. If it wasn't, I'm not very bright. So anyway, let's see. What else do I have on here? I wanted to talk about Bill from Economics and Comics, and I kind of mentioned him earlier. He's got an auction coming up tomorrow on his channel, and it starts from 10 to 4. I don't know what time zone that is. I think he lives in Arizona, so whatever time zone Arizona is. But he's got an auction going for like 6 hours, and he always has some pretty cool stuff. So check out Economics and Comics. If you want to get some comic books, he'll have them all in auction. And his auctions usually go pretty quick. So he goes through a lot of product very fast, and there's a lot of different things to get. So it's kind of cool. And then he usually has the artist, the Sin Potter guy. He's usually there as well. And he does some, he'll do like custom or commission artwork for you. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know for sure if he's there, but that's pretty cool. And then I got a super chat from Steve Whitting. Some travels. I'm pretty sure you meant the safe travel. Loot for B. Oh, some travel loot for B. Steve, everyone who's watching right now, Steve, he's donated so many books to the Bueller box. And if you've bought in the Bueller box, out of those donated books I sent out, you probably have one of Steve's books. He goes above and beyond. A lot of people, and you know what? And Steve, you can see Steve's symbol right there. He doesn't have a YouTube channel. He is on Instagram, but you know what? He's just a member in the community, and me and him have kind of connected, and it's been a great friendship. So Steve, thank you so much. And everyone, if you've gotten one of the Bueller boxes, like I said, more than likely you've gotten one of Steve's books out of his personal collection. And he just does it out of the goodness of his heart. And that's a good guy right there. So, Steve, thank you so much. And my daughter, Paige Noakes, shout out to Steve. She knows what it's all about. Okay, let me see. I got a few more things to do. I'm not on Comic Core tonight. I'm sorry. I got some other things going on. Comic Core is at 7 o'clock tonight, or 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So that's not. I'm not on there tonight. There's a couple of us I don't think are going to be on there. But I'm sorry, I got some other stuff going on, but I will be back next week. And here's the thing, and I need some feedback from you people right now. There's 113 people watching. So I think next week on the Comic Core, I think we are doing an auction, and it's the first auction that the Comic Core has done. And honestly, it's the first auction I've ever done. I don't really know how to sell or what to sell on an auction. So I don't know what to do. Really. A lot of my personal collection that I have, the ones that I don't send out, they're not like my standards as far as quality is very they're not that great. I mean, I'm not a quality or not a condition guy. So it's not really, a lot of my books I have in my own collection are not that great. So I don't know how, which ones to put on the auction. It's just, so I need some feedback what I should do. I mean, I thought about doing like custom Bueller boxes and putting have 5 or 6 Bueller boxes on the auction, and they'll be custom for you, and see if people are interested in. And I might even try a test run on my own channel next Friday as well and see how it goes. And I guess you just put your PayPal email in there and you guys send it to the PayPal. I'm not sure. So I need some feedback on what you guys would like to see. And if you guys leave it in the comments you can do it right now, but I might miss it because it goes kind of fast. But if you put it in the comments down below after this video is over, I'd appreciate it. What you'd like to see in the auction, like I said, next week on the Comic Core. I did get these buttons. My other sister Kim made these buttons, and they're kind of cute, and maybe I could take them, I can number them or something, and maybe sign it or so. I don't know. She got like a 12 of them, so I'll probably keep a couple, and then I'll send out like 10 buttons. So I don't know, maybe that will be part of the auction, the Bueller box with the special limited edition numbered signed Comics with Bueller button. So there you go. I don't know if anyone would want a button, but I'm wearing it on my thing, and it's pretty dorky. But anyway, so that's next week, Comic Core. I will be on Just the Rican and his comics on tomorrow, Saturday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So check him out, Just the Rican and his comics. Excuse me. And we still got 103 people watching. I'm winding down, but I'm gonna get into a story here that's this is gonna kind of take a turn right here, and I want to talk. My daughter's been in the chat all night, and something I asked her if this is okay to talk about, and I'll tell you guys right now, this is not about comics, and this is about something that happened to my daughter this past week, and it's not very cool, and I kind of feel a little helpless as her father. So my daughter was at work this week, and a gentleman had came into her work, and he wanted her to send some money order or something like that at her work. And long story short, it really doesn't matter, what the situation was. Unfortunately, my daughter couldn't. They're not allowed to do the money order over the phone. I think that's what the gentleman was trying to do. And so my daughter said, "We're sorry, sir. We can't do it." This gentleman proceeds to punch my daughter in the face and just, sucker punch my daughter right in the face. Now, my daughter is about 5'6". She's, 100 and some odd pounds. And, in a fair fight, she'd kick your ass. But when some guy that's bigger than her and outweighs her by 100 pounds and is, a half foot taller, just squares off and punches my daughter in the face because he can't send the money order, it pisses me off. And you know what? My daughter is the apple of my eye, and it just broke my heart when she called me, and I said, "How was your day?" And she was very emotional, and I thought it was, what do I do as a father? I don't know. It's like apparently the police didn't show up for like 6 hours. The guy's long gone. They don't know the guy. As far as cameras, they might have cameras or whatnot. But apparently in this part of Albuquerque, New Mexico, where this happened. This is a common thing, it's assault, it happens all the time. So anyway, I just wanted to tell that guy that you're garbage. And you know what? It's not cool, man. That's my daughter. And we all have bad days and we all make mistakes. And, I've made my mistakes as well. But, when my daughter told me this, the first thing as a father, I just wanted to rip someone's head off, but anyway, I asked my daughter if it was okay to share this because she said it was all right, and she's in here right now, and I'm like I said, and she's talking to some people in here, but I haven't seen my daughter since 4th of July, and as far as in person. And like I said, I'm going to see her this month, in the middle of this month, and I'm looking forward to seeing her. And she's been working so hard on what she's trying to do with her. She's doing her very first fitness competition, and I couldn't be more prouder. And I know how much effort and dedication she's put into this. And then to have some idiot come in there and just, punch my daughter in the face for no reason. Not that he even needs a reason, because it's not acceptable in either way. And just do that. It just kind of, as much as I always try to stay positive and I believe in the good in people and stuff. And then you hear about just random stuff like this, and it just makes you think. So it does put a little chink in my armor, but really I'm going to try to, it's just a moment, maybe the guy was having a bad day. It's no excuse, but I was just kind of floored. And I thought I'd share that, guys, with you, and just let you know that my daughter's doing good. She's okay. They actually transferred her to a new location, a better location. So I'm happy about that. I was talking to her a little bit ago before we started this, and she's in good spirits and stuff. And you know what? It just kind of goes to show you how important family is, and every moment is very precious. And don't punch people in the face, man. That's not cool. Unfortunately, there's another kind of bad thing that I want to talk about as well. And there was a lady. Her name was Cleveland Comic Newbie. Cleveland Comic Newbie. I don't know if she's watching, but she ordered a Bueller box, and it got delivered to her, and somebody stole it off of her front porch. And she's really looking forward to getting one, and she really wanted it, and it got stolen. And I don't know what was in it, obviously, but I already told her that I would replace it. And she said that I didn't need to, but I'm going to replace it. It's not a problem. I'll take care of it. And I know she really wanted one. And I think it's pretty crappy that somebody stole it. Unfortunately, that's something that does happen, mail theft or whatnot. But I will give you another one, and I'll probably make sure you get some bonus stuff as well. So Cleveland Comic Noob, and she's great. She's on Instagram, Cleveland Comic Noob B. It's NEWB. You're gonna get another one, so I'll make sure to send you out one and a little bit extra, and hopefully this time I'll put so you have to sign for it or something like that. So make sure you get one. So my apologies that it got stolen. Like I said, she's really cool. She's shared my stuff on Instagram before, and she really enjoys the comic book community. And make sure you get one. I will, I promise. Anyway, a little bit of a downer. I kind of had to share that. And I kind of had to share my thing about my daughter. But my daughter, she's tough, man. So, like I said, I think she'd probably kick the crap out of that guy in a fair fight. And when it comes to your family, I've had people say some stuff about me, and some very unflattering things about me. And my response has always been, I don't acknowledge it. I just kind of let it go, and people have their own opinions, and that's fine. And, I don't really think too much about it. And I know I have friends that kind of take exception when people kind of say some bad things about me, or for that case, make videos about me. And I told my friends, I said, you know what, don't even worry about it, because I'm fine. And you know what you guys see in front of the camera, and you guys have been watching me for over a year, this is who I am. And, if the people that decide to say some things about me or make videos about me, they obviously haven't spent enough time to get to know me, to know that I'm probably not the guy that they think I am. So anyway, I just want to say thanks to everybody who joined. I think I got everything on my list. I got a list here. I wrote, you probably can't see it, but it's on there, of everything. And it's 6:33, so it's pretty close. I want to say thanks to everybody. It looks like I missed a couple super chats. Oh my God. I get going, man. I was kind of emotional there on my daughter's thing. Rob Worst, thank you very much. You didn't write anything. So if you don't write anything, I get to fill it in. So Rob Worst, he said, Bueller, you are so special and handsome. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it. Let's see. There was somebody else. Oh, Economics and Comics. He got his like I said, he's got his auction going on 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time. All the information going to be my best auction yet. Thank you, Bueller. Thank you, Economics. And D. Stingley. Yes, thanks. Okay, so I got the information right on there. Did I miss anybody? Man, this list keeps going. AKA Mr. Bolo, what's up, buddy? The Great Legend Show is in the house. Obviously, my daughter and Sam's Tangled Web. Oh, that's the one thing I forgot. Sam's Tangled Web. Sam's Tangled Web. I got to give this guy props, okay? There's 104 people watching. And Sam's Tangled Web, or Sam, as I like to call him, that guy helped me over the weekend put together the Bueller boxes. And Sam is a good guy, and I consider him one of my best friends now. I've only known him for a little over a year. And you know what? I just want to say thank you, Sam, for helping me put those boxes together. He did a great job. He's probably going to help me again. I always hook him up. I always give him a bunch of comics, whatever he wants. When he comes over here, you know, it's we have a good time. I get food and, you know, whatever we need, we're good to go. So Sam, he's in here right now. Sam's Tangled Web. He's one of my moderators. Here's the thing. He's got a contest going on right now. His link is down below. You can click on his channel. You can subscribe to his channel. You can enter his contest by leaving a comment on the contest video, or you can make a video entry. And he's going to be giving away some books, and I'm donating some books for his contest. So I will be donating a Bueller box to his contest, Sam's Tangled Web. I'll also be doing a contest entry video, but I am not part of the contest, so my entry video is going to go to somebody else if I do for chance to win. But I've never won a contest before, so you know I don't really enter many. So anyway, I just wanted to give props to my buddy Sam, and thank you so much, my friend, for all your help. He kind of got to see exactly what goes into making a Bueller box, and it was a very long process. And I don't think he realized what went into it until he got over here, and he was like, "Oh my god!" So there's many more to be made, and I just want to say thanks to him. All right, guys, I think that's about it. I'm running a little bit over time. I got, like I said, comics with Bueller buttons. I don't know what to do with them. If you're interested, let me know. There's only about 10 or 12 of them. But thanks, everyone. Walt Parrish, hello. Looks like there's a few other people in here. Everyone's great. Vinny, hello. All right. I think that's it. I'm going to be making some more videos. Everyone seems to like the one that me and Tom are doing on Tuesday nights. I think that thing had over almost 2,000 views already. It's only been a couple days. So thank you so much for watching the show that me and Tom do. And that's all I got. So I want to say thanks to everyone joining me tonight. You guys are all fantastic, and I will catch you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh, that didn't go well.